Assalamu alaikum. In this video, we will understand about the food allergies, the pathophysiology. So, affects over 500 million people worldwide. Food allergies, primarily mediated by IgE antibodies. Suppression of allergic reaction symptoms seems to be mostly modulated through a reduction of allergen specific IgE antibodies and down regulation of mast cell, which that will lead to suppression of allergic reaction symptoms. Let's understand about the foods which that will lead to trigger the allergic reaction whenever you will eat that food. Those person who are sensitive to the this food which that will lead to allergic reaction like peanut, milk, tree, nuts, wheat, egg and fish as well as shellfish. This type of foods contain allergens, which is antigen against the body to activate hypersensitivity 1 reaction. Let's understand about the all story about the food allergy and food allergic reaction. What will be happen? So in this way, here is the person content digestive system. Digestive system involved whenever you will eat, go into the digestive system, the immune cell activation. This large intestine contain a appendix, cecum, ascending colon, transverse, descending colon, sigmoid colon, rectum, and anus. Why I am drawing the large intestine? Because we are discussing about the microbiome. The gut microbiome may play a significant role in regulating the physiologic, immunologic, and structural changes in the gut. Gut microbiome dysbiosis is reported to influence an array of chronic conditions including asthma, autoimmune disease, and food allergy. That is why the food allergy can be occur due to the dysbiosis, the microbiome change. Probiotics in general have therefore emerged as a potential alternative therapeutics in the past decades. Probiotics bacteria were used to modulate the immune response through targeting T helper 1, 2, and 12 regulated T cells and B cells. In this way, this biosis will lead to dysbiosis to antibiotic will create the dysbiosis. So anyhow, the microbiome in the gut flora contain mutualistic bacteria is important. The development of microbiota are tolerance the food proteins during the early stage of life. So that with the passage of time, the microbiome will change, will lead to regulate the immune response and suppression the allergens. But some people have this microbiome dysbiosis as well as other genetic disorders. Whenever you will eat food, enter as a bolus into the stomach and go into the intestine as a coin. But first of all, we will understand about the allergic reaction through skin. For example, the gastrointestinal tract also contains skin. Upper part of this layer is known as skin. But we will understand mostly the skin. The skin basically sensitization, the food allergen subsequent exposure, like some plants which that cause the allergic reaction or other things like chemicals. Langerhans cells during the injury also will lead to cause allergic reaction. The Langerhans cells as a dendritic cell type which that detect the antigen as an allergen and go into the blood circulatory system, the Langerhans cell, and as a dendritic cell it will become a dendritic cell, and a lot of other cells are present in the blood circulatory system like neutrophil, basophil, macrophage, and RBC. This Langerhans cell will activate, and in this way, this dendritic cell toll-like receptor is also important for the dendritic cell activation and Langerhans cell. But the dendritic cell will go into the draining lymph node. It will be target to the CD4 T cell and T cell activation. The dendritic cell will recognize this antigen and co-activation. The T cell activation will lead to produce cytokines like interleukin 4, 5, and 13. This 4, 5, 13 interleukin will activate the B cell containing IgE antibodies, and this will lead to trigger the plasma cell product formation. After this proliferation and differentiation, the plasma cell will produce a lot of antibodies at a quick response. In this way, basically is the IgE will produce. This IgE will bind with the mast cell, and the mast cell with the Fc epsilon receptor 1 will lead to bind with the light chain site of the bind with the allergen will lead to degranulation, and this degranulation to produce histamine, leukotriene, and lipid mediators. This will lead to vasodilation and the permeability of blood vessel, as well as causes the rashes and other problems like edema, anaphylaxis, and anaphylactic shock. Cytokines interleukin 4, 5, 6, 13, and tumor necrotic factor alpha, and enzymes like example is tryptase, and this will lead to degranulation, also to produce histamine, leukotriene, and lipid mediators will lead to permeability of blood vessel increase. This is a small intestine contain lumen. Lumen contain food allergens, remember, and this is the enterocytes here. The food allergen can be entered through a paracellular directly, while it also sensitized through a tuft cell of the enteric nervous system. On the other hand, it will also trigger the immune response, while on the other hand, the dendritic cell will lead to activate after the recognition of the antigen as a food allergen to produce ISLP and interleukin 25, 33, which that activate the ICC2 cell to activate the basophil and eosinophil. This basophil and eosinophil will go into the infection site where the inflammation will occur, and in this way it will produce the interleukin 5 and interleukin 13 through ICC2 cell to recruit this eosinophil and basophil. This is the Peyer's patches, and this is the mesenteric lymph node. This dendritic cell will mature, will lead to dendritic cell migration and polarization to go into the mesenteric lymph node, and it activates the naive CD4 cell. This activation will lead to produce interleukin 4, 5, and 13 will recruit, and also interleukin 4 will recruit the basically the IgE containing B cell. This IgE containing B cell will bind also with the allergen and will lead to activate to produce the IgE antibodies. This food allergen will interact with the M cell to degranulation, and this degranulation the class switching to IgE again, that same mechanism, and degranulation to produce a lot of mediators will activating mediators. On the other hand, the IgE containing antibody containing B cell will proliferate and differentiate, and in this way it will produce the IgE producing B cell, mesenteric, as well as plasma cell, same mechanism which that is involving in the skin, and activation of mast cell and same mechanism will lead to produce histamine, leukotriene, and lipid mediators. This is the gut lamina propria. The treatment is involved the allergic specific immunotherapy. The allergic specific immunotherapy is used through a drug as well as other agents which that will lead to suppress immunolymphatic therapy depending allergens, and allergen powder CNFP, and probiotic and prebiotics, and natural compounds for food allergens. Natural compounds for food allergen like a cannabinoids chemical and the seaweed, which that will lead to inhibit and increase the microbiome. because it suppresses the inflammation, and the sign and symptom of the allergic reaction will be inhibited. Right? On the other hand, the decreased inhibition of the allergen containing food. The mast cell, which the degranulation, again for summarization, blood vessel normally will bond with the histamine receptor, will lead to cause edema, anaphylaxis, arrhythmia, shock and inflammation. Due to the permeability will increase, the water and fluid will move into the extracellular fluid into the tissue and will lead to decrease the blood pressure. I hope you make sense about this. We have discussed about the food allergies, pathophysiology, and what is the food which that cause allergy. And on the other hand, we have discussed about the immunoactivation, the treatment, as well as microbiome innervation. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. For this time, bye. If you like my video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and share. And we can create more videos if you will support me and related to the food allergies pathophysiology. And this is the overall food allergies we have discussed, and I will make a separate video with like peanut allergy, milk allergy, wheat allergy, egg and tree nuts. And this is the type 1 hypersensitivity. Remember to activate the type 1 hypersensitivity reaction, which that will lead to cause allergy. Bye.